Hi, this is High Templar with my new mechanics video, and today I wanted to talk about the changes that came to us with the patch 1.2 that brought us the Beastman, as you can see here, but also brought us huge changes to the Lords and Heroes system. Now we can pick abilities and items and spells for those heroes. You can see that the price for them has increased quite considerably, and you might think that's bad, but this is actually because this hero has all the spells you would normally have. So you get Balthazar for this price, but if you just say I don't want to use transmutation of lead, he will actually cost 1500. If you pick your spells, you can get this price much lower. So you, for example, don't want to use metal shifting or don't want to use stand your ground, you can bring this price even lower. That's why all the casters here will be very expensive, because on default you will have all their spells. What does it mean? That means you have to consider what you are choosing before you go into the combat. You have to know what you will be using against dwarves or against empire or against beastmen, and you will have to be either have a army setup loaded, safe, so you can load it, or you need to pick very quickly what do you want for specific heroes. And this can be a quite lengthy process, although if you know what you are doing, you can do this in a minute. So this is great, because now you can make your general and your hero exactly the way you want him. However, there are some problems. You've probably seen my video that is titled Karl Franz Fall, where Karl Franz, that is fully upgraded. Let's see him. So this is Karl Franz, all the abilities and Deathclaw, and both of his artifact weapons. I mean, costing more than 2600. Lost against a general of the Empire, and lost. That wasn't actually a defeat. That was quite spectacular defeat, because this guy, I probably still want to have all the line, or if you want to go for sniping, just Foe Seeker and no hold the line, but leave those, or lose the brother, whatever. But what do you need to pick is those potions. Now all melee heroes and all melee lords except for beastmen and dwarves will have access to those potions, and you will see that if you use them correctly, you can make this lord, this general, very effective tool, and this is barely 1900 costs. So for the difference between Karl Franz and this guy, not only this guy from the Empire will win, not only will he have still a potion of healing to be used in the battle and full health, but also you can field another 2 units of spears easily, or unit of handgunners. So that's quite amazing how unbalanced this is, because I was able to find it in just 20 minutes. Figure that out, that it will be a problem. So you basically have three sets of people in the heroes and lords. First you have legendary lords and heroes, and all of them will have their own legendary items that you can get from quests, right? Then you have your generic lords, and generic lords will be similar to heroes, as in they will be able to pick those. If those will be casters, they will have access to caster items. I will show them. So the melee hero here have access to potions, and I cannot stress enough how powerful Potion of Toughness and Potion of Healing is. Potion of Strength is very useful, and this is very cheap. This is very dirty cheap for this guy. And we can put him on Imperial Pegasus and wreak absolute destruction in the enemy lines for 1300. Even with just a warhorse, he will be unstoppable, because he will be all those. You can pop once he's at half of his health. You can pop those potions, and he will be staying there and defeating the enemy. Very bad for your enemy, basically. Now, your casters will have another set of items. This will be scrolls, scroll of leeching, scroll of shielding, and scroll of power. While they are powerful, they are nearly not as powerful as potions. Scroll of shielding is very nice because it gives 22 damage resistance for 67 seconds. So now you can see that if I, for example, pick a light wizard for me and my General of the Empire and give him this scroll and spells necessary for sniping the enemy lord, maybe even this, I have, for this cost, I have extremely effective lord and hero who can cast some cool spells. Let's even put him on the Pegasus, and he can cast shielding to the General of the Empire, which this shielding, I remind you, lasts 67 seconds. So this is half of the battle most of the time. And then you can still pick quite impressive army, right? You still have money. You can still build something from this. That's quite an effective setup. I mean, yeah, it's not. It's very depending on who you will be fighting and etc. etc. But you can see that you still have lots of money. Now, this is for the Empire. This is similar for Bretonia, which has one caster, one melee specialist, one lord, and one legendary lord, which now will be obsolete. You won't be seeing lots of legendary lords. Same for greenskins. Pretty much the same. Now, the goblin big boss, it's pretty scary right now. I mean, you must see that this is pretty scary, because this is 700. And this guy is now very effective combatant. Very effective indeed. If you put him with poison attacks on the spider, he can kill pretty much anyone. I mean, yes, except for the other melee hero who has also those items, right? Grimgor, however, will have no chance against, say, Orc Warboss, because Orc Warboss will have those items and also, say, Warboar or the Wyvern. But for the Warboar, his price is matching the Grimgor, but Grimgor can only have Gitsnik, which is fine weapon, I agree, but nowhere near as powerful as those. So, unfortunately, and this is the same for Chaos Warriors, and then the things are starting to change. Obviously, Kolek is still somewhat valid. He can still beat most of the people with his hammer. The Archeon Ever Chosen is good if you can pick his spells. But now all those casters that you would normally see in the matches are very expensive. So if you are going with this, I've seen it on many occasions, you need to pick the spells you will be choosing. So this will be probably Spirit Leech and Fate of Duna. However, you need to remember that now sniping some of the lords will be a lot less effective, and you need to pick spells very carefully, because if your lord that you are fighting has lots of healing potions, you won't be able to kill him with those spells anymore, or you need to cast those spells a lot, and that means spending a lot more on the hero that will be using those spells, right? So it might be just more effective to use a lord that is supporting the troops than concentrating on the sniping the enemy lord. If you are fighting some, now there are some people who draw a short straw in this. For example, the Beastmen, none of their lords have any items that will be effective, basically. So you have 2 legendary lords and 1 beast lord, not working like that. The Gorebull has those potions, but he won't be enough, and he would be very expensive in his own, because this guy doesn't have mount. Yes, he has a speed of 58, but 58 is not that much, and the mount is not only giving speed and charge bonus, it also gives some other stuff. So Karl Franz has charge bonus of 90, a speed of 90 on his Deathclaw. So is the general of the Empire, right? So if I pick general of the Empire here, with this, he has a charge bonus of 90, speed of 90. So the Gorebull is not so great. The lords in here are not so great. They need to be used as a support, and they can be sniped. Same story for dwarves. Those guys just don't have anything useful here, and the Thane has access to potions, but you can still snipe the dwarf lords, and the Grudgebearer now is very expensive, and Ungrim also is very expensive, and I just really don't understand why. They should be decreasing the costs of the lords for dwarves, in my opinion. And the vampire counts are, well, they don't have actually any melee. If you pick a vampire lord, he doesn't have access to any items, only spells and abilities, which is a lot of spells and abilities, true, but they are very expensive, very expensive. We need to choose very carefully, because Manfred that is fully buffed is 3600, and that's not something you are going to pay for a hero. The vampire is cool if you pick your spells, for example. Still a very usable hero. Still very useful, still very powerful. And your White King and the Banshee both will have access to potions. But again, those guys won't. So sniping against vampire counts, beastmen and dwarves is pretty much for game. For other factions, if you encounter somebody who do understand how to use potions, you will probably not see any legendary lords. For the Empire, you will probably not see any legendary lords for Bretonia and Greenskins, because they will be no longer cost effective. It's as simple as that. And you probably will see a lot of you need to use safe army setup and load army setup. You need to build those armies beforehand and understand what you will be fighting, and then maybe changing it. I am talking about heroes, obviously. I'm not talking about units which you can pick very quickly and just play with it. I'm not a fan of building entire army setups and trying to pick an optimal one. That's not what I do. I just thinking, okay, let's pick 3 of those and 4 of those and see how it goes. Let's say my enemy will pick up Carfrance and Light Wizard, which is what most people do, and some infantry spam. So what I will bring, what I should bring to the battlefield to make them die. Okay, so that's for my review of those things. I do think this is very awesome that Creative Assembly did this to us. They added to the Lord's ability to pick the abilities and the items and the spells, and you just pay a little bit for each of one of those, and you can customize your heroes and lords as you wish, make them very powerful, or make them very specialized. The bad side about this is that people who don't know the game that well will be losing a lot, and that will be frustrating for them a lot. Also, you will have to build those the skeletons of the armies and load them when you are fighting online. And also this imbalancing that was brought by basically potions. So either change the potions or give the potions abilities to all the people, because I see no reason why you wouldn't be able to pick a potion for Necromancer. I really don't. Yes, the Scroll of Shielding is cool, but I don't know. So that's all for the review. I hope you like it. If you did, press like. If you want to comment, please leave a comment. And I also would like to recommend my other Let's Plays in Total War Warhammer, with Legendary Greenskins and Chaos Warriors campaign and the Beastmen. Obviously they are coming. And my Total War Run 2 a Legendary Epirus campaign, and my Fallout 4 survival video, and my XCOM Enemy with Feeling series. Thank you for watching. Bye.